It's episode 2 of Gronch Music, the podcast where we know nothing about anything but spout our opinions as absolute facts nonetheless. My name is Lance, and as always, I'm joined by two of my closest friends in the world. First up, he's ruthless, he's toothless, he's deaf, he's dumb, he's sick and depraved, and I'm genuinely concerned for his safety. Lucas, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm great. I was really excited for what you were gonna say about me this week. I'm glad. I want them to keep getting worse and worse.
I'll see what I can do about that.
And by extension, more accurate.
Next up, we have someone who's thoughtful, so nice that he once passed up the opportunity to swindle a man for all he had, including his money, his wife, and other amenities. It's Matthew/Rosh/ the Garlic Lord. How you doing, Matthew?
I'm doing pretty good, Lance. How are you?
I'm alright. This week, listen to Selected Ambient Works II by Aphex Twins. Came out in 1994. What are you guys' general opinions on this album? Let's start with Matthew this week.
Yeah.
Oh boy, where do I begin? It's 2.5 hours of pure ambient, a combination
ambient energy.
Bliss, ambient energy, yeah. Ambient bliss, ambient,
I'd say ambient terror at times.
Terror at times, just disturbing, despair. Yeah, all these words. They really they create an environment of that creates kind of a roller coaster of emotion. Even though there's very limited percussion in this album.
Yeah, a lot of this music remind me of kind of video game music. I think is the closest thing I've heard to it, especially I think Minecraft music is the obvious comparison.
I also made the Minecraft comparison.
I made a different comparison while listening to it. If you ever played Spore, this felt very, but yeah, I can see Minecraft too, but it's very explorer type, visiting different parts of the world within an album sort of thing, right? So there is certain tracks on here. I feel there's definitely different influences.
I think that's mostly because the only time you hear ambient music is in a video game. You don't hear it any other place, right? Most of the time.
You guys don't just hear it walking down the street every day?
I can't say that I have. I don't think so. I can't think of a time where I went to a Subway and they're playing Number 11 by Aphex Twin. I don't know.
I listen to white noise all the time while just walking down the street with my eyes unblinkingly open.
Would the flies get in?
Excuse me? The flies?
It's your open eyes. You're walking down the street with your eyes wide open?
Oh, yeah. Unblinking emotion. With just the white...
Other than Minecraft, it also kind of reminded me of kind of Edmund McMillan games soundtrack, some of them. When I was going through it the second time. Super Meat Boy, especially, I think.
Oh, I kind of get that actually.
I haven't played too many of those, honestly.
Yeah, those ones have a little bit more energy to them. These ones are a little more chill, but still. Do you guys have a favorite song from this album?
Which
That's
side?
a good question.
Or just off of both sides, or both albums, both discs.
Both discs. One album.
What's your favorite? So, looking through it, originally I listened to a song before I listened to the album, which I really enjoyed, and now looking through the album, it turns out it's the most popular song, and I have to say, yeah, after listening to everything, it's still probably my favorite. It's probably number 3. It's very, very soothing, very relaxing. It almost gives you an introspective sound. You really ponder stuff when you listen to this one, and I really enjoy it. It's very calming as well.
Yeah, I think I'm a fan of the earlier songs in the album. I think around the midway point, it gets a little bit. I think it gets a little quieter, maybe, and the songs get a little longer.
I can tell you a runner-up for me.
Objectively, the best song is number 4.
Really?
Number 4 just sounds like fucking horrible hell dimension. It just sounds so fucking horrifying. It's really good.
I can see that. what's your runner-up? Because I also have one as well. Just because there's so many songs, I feel like.
Give me your runner-up.
My runner-up is number 15. It's like the real. I can't describe it. It's like it's almost the closest thing you can get to percussion on this LP. It's just very. It's almost can't even describe it. Very robotic, very hard hitting. It's kind of like I don't know.
I think I know which one you're talking about from that impression. That was a very spot on impression.
Thank you. I'm not sure how to duplicate it, but it got me grooving. I have to say, out of all the songs, there was actually one that got me on the dance floor here. So
I liked. I think it was number 11 as well. I can't listen to these songs because I'm recording, but you guys can listen to them.
Yeah, I'm on Spotify right now.
Number 12 was the one where like it had a voice in it, and that kind of confused me a bit.
Yeah, I thought to myself, it's like, okay, if I were to go on Genius, what's the likelihood of me pulling up actual lyrics? Turns out, yeah, they're all titled as like instrumental.
I swear, in number 12 he says like Khaleesi over and over.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple tracks where you think he's saying something or she's saying something, but it's like it's all made for the sound.
I think he sampled the Game of Thrones audiobook. That's my opinion.
in 19 was released 92, 93?
I think Game of Thrones is out by then on book form, right?
Sure, maybe. Honestly,
I don't know the timeline, but
I don't follow Game of Thrones, so
I think at least the first one was. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if you guys found this as well, but apparently when this was, I don't think I got this completely correct, but when this album was released, it got released with a lot of representative pictures on the vinyl or something. Or
yeah, I read that too.
And a lot of these tracks, like how they're all just numbered off, they actually were assigned names because of the pictures associated with it. So number 3, my favorite track, is actually, or I guess given the title of Rhubarb. And with Lucas's favorite track, number 4, it would be Hanky. As a
Mr. Hanky the Christmas
poo? Example. Sorry?
Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo from South Park? Is that what the image is of?
Honestly, I did not search up the image. I probably should have.
I tried to look at the images. I couldn't find them.
There's some interesting titles here. There's was it Weathered Stone, Shiny Metal Rods. I think Mold, and then after that comes Curtains. So yeah.
Mold.
There's also White Blur 1. I wonder if there's a White Blur 2 somewhere. Yeah, there is. Number 24 is White Blur 2.
How about, do you guys like this album overall? Would you give it another listen?
I would take mushrooms and listen to this album. Very fucking scary and weird. I like it.
How about you, Matthew?
I deliberated in my head so much whether, because I like a lot of the songs on like that Aphex Twin creates, and I liked a lot of them on this album, but it's a lot, man. It's a big commitment, which I can't really dock points off of that. But I think I'm in like I would probably listen to it again. I wouldn't give it like a crazy high score, but I'm probably in between indifferent and liking the album. Like I'm pretty okay with it.
I like it, but I think there's like video game soundtracks I like more. So I don't know why I would ever listen to this one in particular. I think that's fair. That's my approach to it.
I just like there's not generally a certain theme associated with it. It's just kind of everywhere, which I sort of like, despite not that there's no lyrics, but I don't know. It makes it more interesting.
That's why when I was listening to it, it kind of reminded me of the game LSD Dream Emulator. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that one. I think I've talked to Lucas about it. Yeah.
I don't think I have.
It's like a PS1 game where you're like dreaming, and in the dream you like teleport to different dimensions like every probably minute or so. And every time a song would switch, I would feel like it would be like that switch in dimension, where you're like looking at maybe like a little quaint Japanese village, and then all of a sudden you're teleported inside of like a womb or something like that, like a scary fucking place, or like a factory or something like that. And it just keeps swapping between those scenes.
Yeah, that's probably the best description I've heard for this album. It really feels like you kind of go from one place to the next, and the storytelling, it really is just in the sound.
Yeah.
And whatever samples.
Did he say what it was influenced by? I think I read the Wikipedia page briefly, but I don't remember. Was it like influenced by drugs or what?
Oh, I didn't go that far. I probably should have read up a little bit more on this, but I was thinking, you know what? I don't know.
I like going blind. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I also like going blind, but just in this one, it's like the lack of like I don't know, the lack of
titles, the lack of anything.
Titles. It's very minimalist in composition.
Yeah. I have to say, I actually kind of really don't like the fact that there's no titles. I think having a title would like help you calibrate your mind toward like the artistic vision, if that makes sense. Like it would help me understand what he was trying to go for.
And this is the second sort of iteration of his his selected ambient works. Like he had one. His first one was from like early '90s, but I think in the album title it has back from '85. He was doing this, and there were, there was titles on those tracks there. And for this one, he just kind of simply said, you know what, let's just minimize it. Let's just make it all numerical. No titles, no nothing. So. Interesting.
This did come out in '94, which is kind of early for this type of music, I think.
Oh yeah, every time I hear about Aphex Twin, it's always how he's like definitely ahead of the curve in a lot of respects.
Yeah, you could have told me this album came in like 2006, and I would have believed you. I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty astonishing, honestly. So that's why I like it. I can't really dislike it, honestly.
How about the 11-minute song? I feel like that one stuck out for some reason. It's like, I think the other second highest length song would be like 7 minutes, right?
Are you talking about Tassels, number 23?
Yeah, number 23.
That was a very unnerving song. There were some weird samples in that song.
I think that was the one song I might be thinking of something else, but I swear that was the one that I thought it was the closest to actually having lyrics. Because I thought I could hear people like.
I think 12 had like straight up lyrics in it. I think
there was one song. There was just a conversation going on in the background. It was a very unnerving conversation, very tense. And I thought that was 23, but I could be remembering something else. I don't know.
Wasn't there one like before 23, which is like it's kind of like that Minecraft disc that's broken, the one that's like freaky compared to the rest of the album. It's like nice little peaceful music until you get to like I think it was like 21 or something. And then just is like, oh, this world is not as peaceful as we think it is.
Honestly, I couldn't make. Okay, if I'm being honest, I haven't listened to that like Minecraft disc in full.
Oh, you haven't, dude? It's really bad. So I probably wouldn't recommend it. But
I know that's too spooky. It's kind of doesn't sound great.
I don't think it doesn't even have music in it. It just like is a recording of like a person having a scuffle.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, you mean like the disc? Or you mean the track that on?
The disc in Minecraft.
Oh, okay, fair.
There's one song that reminded me of like you guys have probably never played it, but like Ocarina of Time. There's one like Grotto song. It sounded so similar. I actually compared them, and they're very similar. And Ocarina of Time actually came out later, which is surprising.
Oh wow!
I think of that like as like a really old game.
Huh. Yeah, I wonder how much influence people have really gathered from. Probably a lot.
No, I don't know because it's a Japanese game, right? I don't know if they actually got influence from Aphex Twin.
I mean that's fair, but I mean like not just like. I'm saying like a lot of artists, a lot of even like other video games even that maybe we haven't heard of or haven't played or haven't noticed.
So I'm also curious. I know nothing about electronic music, so I don't know how like hard it is to make a song like this.
Yeah, me neither.
Just gotta take a lot of mushrooms, I guess. I don't know. If it's like this
if he's ahead of his time, I wonder how much of it is it like. Did he just have access to like crazy equipment earlier on and was able to make these type of songs?
Like the actual production. Yeah. I guess so. You just rent out the studio. Maybe you look at what other people are doing, steal all that stuff, and then start like I don't know. That's actually a good question. Thinking about it, it's in the early '90s or even mid '80s.
Lucas, why did you choose this album? Is there a reason?
Well, I wanted something interesting by somebody I knew would make a good album. Yeah. And I hadn't heard like any songs on this album. And I thought it was pretty good. I really liked the title.
Did you know it was 2.5 hours long? You picked it?
No, but I think it's an appropriate time.
I had a tough time listening to this album. It took me like 3 sessions across one day.
Yeah, I tried to do it in 2.
Yeah,
it felt like cheating to like break it up too much.
I don't know, but it's hard. Like it's 2.5 hours, dude. That's a big commitment.
I have to say, yeah, like the first 2 albums we listened to, we're really we're not taking the easy route here. We're really
nope.
going in hard. Which I respect it.
Yeah, this might be the hardest one. One with no lyrics is pretty like difficult, especially like no titles either. There's not a lot to go on. It's all up in the air.
Part of me does enjoy that fact, though. I'm never one to separate so much what a song holds, but if I were to, it's definitely A, the lyrics, and B, the song. And I'm definitely more of a song, a sound type of guy compared to the lyrics. I always, it's not great to look at it, but I always like to think of the lyrics kind of just included with the sound.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think a lot of these songs were really good, though. They're very catchy. They're very spooky.
I'd say I like about 60% of them.
Yeah. I think I like the overall album more than maybe the majority of specific songs. Like I think overall they make a really nice sound, but maybe if you pick one of them at random for me, I probably would be like, eh. But in a full listen, I'll be like, okay, yeah, this sounds nice.
Fair enough. Okay, you guys want to go to the segment where you pick one of these songs out? I think I should explain this segment better because I think I did a really bad job in the first episode. I actually think I forgot to explain it at all, basically.
True.
So what we do in this segment is we're gonna take one song from the album and decide if it's either what would you call it? So it's like doomer, bloomer, boomer. Is there a name for those words? It's hard to categorize.
Oh my god.
Wojak archetype.
Okay, we decide the Wojak archetype of the album. Pick a song and put it in that archetype. So what song sticks out to you guys?
Well, I mentioned it before as my favorite song on the album. I think number 4 is the ultimate doomer song.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know if I can choose doomer for this. I don't think we should choose doomer because I don't know, Matthew. You know these memes better than I do, or the music. What did this make you feel?
It honestly, the album will jump between one archetype to another very fast, I feel. Yeah. If I'm being quite honest. Because
I agree.
In my favorite song, number 3, it does not feel doomer at all. I mean, maybe at a certain point it does, but part of me wants to feel, well, yeah, I kind of. The nice thing about this album is, not to be cheesy here, but it really makes you think. It really, there's a lot of internal battles going on to see how to make sense of the album. So, my original thoughts was oh, this isn't any of these. They're all of them at once. But the more and more I think about it, it's well, maybe it is more of a doomer album.
Really?
It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm thinking okay, Ambient Works kind of just setting up the environment here and how the environment is played out literally within the album. It feels very you can a lot of the songs feel very, I don't know, the space feels very vast at some points and very constricting at others.
But do you think a doomer would listen to this album? I don't think he would.
I think he would.
I think he might. Yeah.
I think you gotta have some hope in your heart to listen to this album.
There's some where I think that it sounds nice and comforting and calm, but at the same time, I feel like you can also frame that in the doomer perspective.
The fact that it ends on kind of a sad note, I guess, is a little bit doomer. I think it ends on a sad note. I can't listen to the song, but if you guys want to go doomer, we can. If we go doomer, what song do you think, Matthew? Number 4?
Number 4. Honestly, like, I would have to listen to it again.
Listen to number 4 right now.
Listen to number 4 right now. Oh shoot.
Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, pull up number 4.
Pull up number 4. Sorry, I have my other album that I kind of want to present on the right now. Let's see this. Oh yeah, this one. This one I really felt was like, it felt very almost desert influenced in some ways. It felt very like, I don't know,
very Arabian.
Yeah. Yes. Kind of influenced by that, because that's the image I put on my mind. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard to categorize one of the songs to represent the entire album and say, "Yep, this is the archetype." Lance, do you have anything other?
I think I would choose probably one of the first songs, either like 1, 2, or 3, and then I would say like Bloomer probably. But we have to come to a consensus, you know?
I think those songs sound kind of doomer. I wrote descriptions for that songs while I was listening to them. They are not happy.
Can I say number 3 and
for 1 I said sounds like a generic early 2000s ringtone being heard by somebody currently drowning to death.
There is one song that is straight up so similar to my ringtone. I think it's like 16 or something. It literally sounds like my ringtone, or like a ringtone I've used in the past. It really kind of freaked me out.
The second one sounds like a haunted circus.
I said for number 2, the soundtrack to a spooky space voyage where everyone dies at the end.
For that one,
I got such different vibes. I imagine like a forest when I listen to these songs.
Imagine too many things. Can I agree with saying I do? I mean, number 3 is the most popular, so I'll say number
3 is the inspiration for the Minecraft soundtrack.
Are you memeing, or is
that's what I wrote down?
Oh, nice. I mean, shoot, it's like I'll say number 3 because I like it and I think it actually represents the entire album pretty well. But the Wojak archetype, I'm kind of at a loss. I could say Doomer. I could say Bloomer. I don't know, man.
I think you're the final straw, Matthew. It's your decision. Me and Lucas are split here.
Pick Coomer. Fuck the system.
Is it only 3 archetypes? Or?
You can pick any archetype you want.
Anything
right. As long as it ends in an Oomer.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I'm going to overthink this. I'm just going to go with off the top of my head. I think it's going to be Doomer.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Number 3 in Doomer. So I'm basically in the middle of...
Hell
yeah. I think we'll just go with that then. Because I like number 3. I like number 3 more than number 4. So... Okay, boys. Number 3, Doomer. That's added to the playlist.
All right.
Okay, Matthew. Have you decided on your next week's album?
I sadly have.
Oh snap!
Okay. So we've chosen very almost I think definitely critically acclaimed albums, correct? But let's go to another album that also could go to critical acclaim, maybe not by the general population of music critics, but let's go back in time, back to, let's say, middle school, and let's enjoy the great album that is Sorry for Party Rocking by LMFAO.
Oh my god. Okay, dude. That's it. Sorry for Party Rocking by LMFAO.
What? Oh man.
Fuck?
I can't wait.
How did you think of this one?
I honestly, part of me was thinking, okay, we're going through a lot of deep, intricate, good song structure and album structure. I need something that there's a bit of controversy attached to it, a bit of hesitance to give good reviews to. I want to really deep dive and see if we can really find, the good and maybe what is considered the bad.
You're gonna regret your actions, sir.
I might, but I'm at this point. It's I'm willing to take my chances. I'm excited.
I'm terrified.
I'm ready.
Okay, Lucas. Let's end the podcast by me asking you a question. Okay, you ready? This one's a little bit more abstract. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer algorithms or algorithm-isms, and why?
I have to say algorithm-isms because I think Man Bear Pig is a real threat, and he should not be underestimated.
I think I'll agree with that. Algorithms, he's got a lot of good isms, He's got like that weird voice. He's got like that face that he makes.
He's got a lot of good ideas. People ought to listen to him more.
Isn't he dead?
I don't know.
No, he's not. I'm just kidding. Okay, that's the end of the podcast. Next week, Party Rocking album. What's it called again?
Sorry for party rocking.
Okay, that's it. See you guys.
See
Bye.
ya.